As a delegation, we promote the Catalan government's policies abroad, and equality for all genders, and especially for women and girls empowerment, are very important objectives for our institution. If you think about it, when we talk about women, we talk about more than 50% of humankind. And actually, we can say that the movement for empowerment of women helps to improve humanity. So the International Women's Day that we're going to celebrate is a day for demanding and discussing these equal rights and the improvement for our whole society. I would like to say that and to remind that because on Women's Day, we think of women, but we also have to think of equal rights for everyone. So lacking equality is found in many sectors and often starts at a very young age. Today, we want to put the focus on women in the tech innovation sector. Today, women and girls are 25% less likely than men to know how to leverage digital technology for basic purposes, 4 times less likely to know how to program computers, and 13 times less likely to file for technology patent.
What we learned so far is that promoting young girls, kids, at an early age is really key. So this is what is repeatedly mentioned by experts, and what we really also try to bring to industry and so on. So we have to bring parents on board, for example. We have to train teachers early on for gender-sensitive education. Parents, peers, family members are so important for girls, because often, young kids, girls at early ages are really interested in tech, ICT, programming, robots, and so on. But then at an age of 13, 14, 15 years, they start to think that this is not for them. So we really have to prevent that. And so educators, teachers are really important. What we did in Austria, just to mention one concrete measure, is we were really engaged in this She Goes Digital initiative, which is a cooperation with leading companies such as Microsoft Austria, where young girls, but also women over the age of 50 can come to tech-related companies and attend tech-related workshops, but also engage in job shadowing, for example. So they can observe females working in tech-related jobs, what they do practically all day long, shadow them and really learn what they do, what skills they need, how they can use their digital skills and so on. So getting girls connected, and also women above 50, getting them connected to female tech experts is also really important.
When we founded the Young IT Girls Association in 2017, it was precisely following, so we started researching this need that there was for more women in ICT, and what we found is exactly what you were sharing, Martina, that it's at the very early ages that we need to focus, because there is a point in which girls stop caring about, or they feel that they are not capable of pursuing this kind of areas, and so that this is where we need to make the focus. So this is why the association, what we do is do activities with children in these very early ages, so that they can see women that are engineers that work in these fields, and see that this is possible and have these references for the future.
In our initiative, Female Lesbian Engineers and Female Engineer of the Year, we're actually not just talking about ICT, but we're talking about STEM in general. That is a lack of male and female engineers. So we are addressing our youngsters, our Slovenian high schoolers, to show them what STEM actually is, what engineering is, and what engineers do. And 5 years ago, we realized that there's not just a severe lack of engineers, but also that there's this giant female pool that no one's really looking at. So we developed a project, Female Engineer of the Year, and it's about role models, as it was already spoken. So if you don't have like a family member, a mother, a father, an aunt, or someone that can push you into that field, you think that there's not your career path, it's not even a possible choice. So we give them role models. Every year we choose 10 from different fields, 10 different engineers, also from science fields, to show them that there's a lot of female engineers out there, and it's being a female engineer or a scientist is a proper and possible a career choice for young girls. So we are also including in this our initiative in the jury. We have a 4-stakeholder jury, and one of the in our opinion, most important jury are young girls. We have a school consortium of high school girls, and they also vote for the Female Engineer of the Year. And the project is not to give this award to the best engineer, because they're very different fields and we're not experts in engineering. So we give them, the award goes to, or I would say the title goes to the one that we think has the biggest potential to inspire young girls to go into STEM. So it's about, our slogan is from invisibility to inspiration. So we choose the 10 and the one main, most powerful story to inspire young girls, to show them why did they choose to go to STEM and what amazing stuff they're doing today. Because I think the biggest problem today is also that the young girls, we cannot convey to them in a proper way how engineering, how scientists, how ICT is important for our society.
Our foundation has been empowering girls and women in tech for over 16 years right now. We are directly cooperating with the academia, with the universities, but also with partners from technological companies. And I would like to mention the project that I am managing at the moment called IT for She. It's been a project that we are running for 7 years now. And I believe it's particularly effective because we are using some stuff that you mentioned before that are very effective. First of all, we are having there are 4 segments of the program. We have mentoring program, volunteering program, educators academy, and women in tech camp. So we have 3 different groups that we address the program to. We have STEM students, we have children from villages and small towns, and we have teachers and educators. And we find that the mentoring is particularly effective way for empowerment and for personal development. And we are pairing up STEM students with industry professionals so they can work together. They identify their goals and their needs at the beginning of their cooperation and their work together. And these girls, these students, they can not only learn technical skills, but they can also see how the work in the technology, how it looks like. They have a role model, like you mentioned, which is very, very important, that they can see that there are like women like them out there, and they are successful and they are leaders, and it really helps them build their self-confidence. And the other aspect is a volunteering program where we are sending every year at least 80 volunteers, STEM students. They go around Poland to the villages and small towns where the digital skills are especially difficult to acquire. And they are teaching young children. And like you mentioned before, it is very, very important that we start there. And for many of these children, when we come there and we teach them about programming, we bring robots, and they are absolutely amazed. And they are also, very often they say that they believed that programming is super difficult and you have to be the best student to do it. And after these classes, they know that it's something that they can do too, and that it's fun. It can be fun.
So we address high schoolers because they are at the point of making a decision on which career path to take. We saw that it is really utmost important that we start at an early age. Primary schools, kindergartens, but our initiative is just so big. So we are connecting with other initiatives, especially in the field of digitalization, I would say, especially in the field of ICT. We are slowly doing projects in primary schools, doing different projects to actually start in kindergartens. But an initiative is just, you can just go so far. That's why we think it is very, very important that things are taken care of on the policy level of our country. So to make like a program that starts in kindergartens, goes through primary school, and then ends up in high schools, and kind of orientates them towards STEM fields, in our case, later in their life. So we're trying to connect different organizations.
So in Catalonia, we have not only in this topic, but in general, we have a strong, so we work very much with grassroots organizations. The civil society has a lot of organizations to work toward the topics that we care about. And in the case of Women in ICT, we've seen this, that there are a lot of organizations, such as the one that I am working with, that try to tackle this topic. But if we really want to have an impact, so we need to go wider. We need these initiatives that are at government level, so that it's not only some schools that get these inputs, but all schools, since the beginning. But I think that it's something that will keep growing. So we need to start with these pilot initiatives, and then we can build this as a government kind of education for all the schools.
Especially with the pandemic, and now with all these digitalizations going around, some are losing the drive. They're not dealing just with teaching and giving knowledge, but with also all other aspects of actually bringing up these youngsters. And they are tired, but in Slovenia, we have the system that they're not getting rewarded, They're basically working like us 24 hours a day. They also have their own children, but they have nothing from it. And perhaps some are losing sight what this means for the future, what they are actually bringing up here. This our young minds, our, presidents, future presidents of our countries. And we were thinking more maybe in encouraging them, empowering them, how to do their job with this in mind, that would make them easier. And also in terms of compensation, we are working with some business associations in Slovenia, and we were thinking they also would probably like to learn or teach new stuff, and to give them also something for them about personal growth, maybe about some information about leadership. So how to maybe give them something back as a compensation for how much they will also have to give energy to our children.
The association, so we go to schools and we do these activities, and many times it has happened to us that the teachers, when they see the activities, they like it a lot, and they ask us to teach them to do these activities so that they can reuse what we've done and also do similar activities with the kids. So I think that oftentimes there are teachers that they have the interest to provide this kind of knowledge or information to their students, but they don't have the resources, and it's also helpful to give resources to them.
My department tries to go into high schools and work with the students on semester projects. So we accompany their work for several months, and we always make sure actually to send female scientists to the schools, because then it has this double function. So we also establish role models and get the girl students in contact with them. And the female scientists then work together with the teachers over several months. For example, we did a semester project with a high school on demystifying robotics and AI, and they made videos and video interviews and video animations on these topics. But of course, this takes lots of resources, right? So it's important that this input gets reused, as well as it was said before. But I would say on the long run, it's really important that these issues go into teacher trainings and teacher education, right?
Educators Academy, where we teach teachers and educators about possibilities of the career in technologies and how to encourage women to pursue such careers. And so we equip them with knowledge so they can then help them students realize that there are possibilities for them out there.
We have a lot of videos shoot in their own environment, working environment, whether they work for a computer, on a computer, or they were on a production line or something. So it's how they know. It's like mini job shadowing, we say, because we also have job shadowing in our project, but it's like mini job shadowing for them. And it's like, reuse, recycle. Yeah, we don't need to go on the other side of Slovenia to drive there and to inspire youngsters. We have all the kind of videos, different engineering profiles. They can check, see if this is perhaps something they would see themselves doing for the rest of their lives. So this is this app. First, you test yourself which engineering profile would fit you best, and then you see what that engineering profile actually does in real life.
We are all speaking about and the applications were also about that, like these examples, this reference, because you cannot be what you cannot see. And I think that one of the greatest hurdles for young girls is that they cannot imagine themselves as an engineer because they don't really know how a female engineer looks, and all these resources that help showcase these and shadows what an engineer does in a day-to-day basis. I think it's very useful for young girls that are trying to picture their future.
I've often met girls who say, I want to change something in society. I want to protect the climate. I want to work in health-related fields, for example. So if we could create such resources that also convey what you can do with these digital skills, right? That you can perfectly combine AI skills with climate change or climate protection or increasing energy efficiency, for example, or what you can do with these digital skills in healthcare, for example, right? I think this is really important to motivate young girls especially.
Exchanging resources, it's very valuable that we all have our unique talents, we all have our unique experiences, and sharing them can bring so much more to the table. And while we're on this subject, I just wanted to invite you all because we are organizing a beautiful event, Perspective Women in Tech Summit. That is a beautiful community hub, a beautiful place for inspiration, for exchanging ideas, for networking. There are 1.1 million Ukrainian refugees in Poland, and most of them are women and children. Some of them have a job, some of them want to find a job, some of them are working below their qualifications. That's why we want to help them, and we are setting on to the journey to train 30,000 Ukrainian women in IT and tech skills and digital skills. So they can, and help them also connect them with industry professionals and help them enter the job market. Basically, we want to help them find a stable, well-paid job that will help them support themselves and their children while they're here, and help them regain at least some of the safety that was shattered because of the war. and also when the war is over, so they have these amazing skills and they can go back to their country and help to rebuild it.